That's another job. So if you guys can see, there's a bit of a leakage here, more like a seepage. Oil vapor slowly starting to leak onto the surface. So what you guys need to do here is you need to take an 8 mm spanner and remove these bolts and swap out the washer. That's about it. That's all there is to it. Swap the washer and it's a job well done. Do one at a time. Do not do both at a time, is because you want one bolt to hold the tension while you work on the other. Okay, so when I try and pull this out, I can already see that somebody has worked on this. This was starting to leak at some point of time, and somebody has already gone in with a dose of as you can see, it's wet. So there will always be a bit of oil that will accumulate, and this is some kind of paste that somebody has applied. So the objective of today's work is to kind of slowly grind that surface a bit, get it nice and square, and then swap this scrappy washer out for a thinner one. Okay, so as you can see, this is not going to sit flush on that surface anymore, because it's already been dented with the pressure of the these are crush washers, so their job is to get crushed. But that being said, this is still a little too wide if you ask me. The best thing to do is use a thinner washer and replace it. I'll just show you what I mean by thinner, smaller washers. Okay, so if you guys can see, this is what I'm going to be using instead of that now. Both are crush washers, but I only need a washer that is the width of the head of the bolt. I don't need anything more than that. This would be a size 5 millimeters, I guess, a 5 or 6. And I'm going to put this back in after I sand the surface a little bit with a sandpaper and clean it nice and square. தண்ணி இருக்கா? கொஞ்சமா. WD-40 இல்லை, வேறு ஏதாவது இருக்கா? காப் க்ளீன் அந்த மாதிரி ஏதாவது இருக்கா? இல்லை. ஓகே, பெட்ரோல் இருக்கா? கெரோசின் இருக்கா? So this is what is of utmost importance. The fact that this leaks, the number one reason why this leaks is also not because of the bolt. It's because of the crappy paint, the powder coat that goes on top of this, and then they screw it up nice and hard. No matter how hard you screw this onto a powder coated surface, it's definitely not going to sit flush and seal well. And so that is why you see oil leaking. And the best thing to do is just scrape off that powder coat, expose the bare metal, that is aluminium, just that much. To be careful with your sandpaper, take a tiny piece and only scrape this portion out. That's starting to clear. And I've exposed the metal nice and clear there. A bit of diesel there, not more, is because you do not want that to leak into the cylinder chamber, by no means. So just a bit of a diesel there. And then cloth. Diesel is also corrosive in nature, so fuel spilling, diesel spilling, each of these things will definitely eat your paint a bit. Be careful, use something which is a mild detergent, not a harsh corrosive chemical or a petroleum byproduct. So that I think ought to do it. Just a bit more on these sides. And that bit there, stubborn bit. That's about it. So I've exposed the metal, if you guys can see. Now all that we need to do is apply some cleaning, that's okay, cleaning solution to this, and some blue Loctite. That much would do. Shove it in and let it sit for 24 hours. There's absolutely no need for you to worry about this. Even 2 hours is good enough, but 24 hours will make for a permanent bond. Yeah, so back with the crush washer. Now if you watch carefully, the bolt has seated well. I can't generate finger level pressure for it to get crushed. This is where I will generate a quarter of a turn and then maybe just another quarter and see if that's good enough. Another quarter, that's about it. Anything more, so that's half a turn from where it seats completely with your fingers, just your fingers. A half a turn gets the job done for you. No more, you don't have to. That is a perfect seal. The same applies to this. If you guys can see now, between that and this is a skewed, warped crush washer, whereas that sits there like it belongs there. So that's the solution to a leaking head gasket bolt, or whatever bolt this is called, any which ways. A simple solution, just scrape off the top of it, throw in the new washer. You'll get all sorts of crush washers like these, copper washers. So use the smaller ones, and then it's a done and dusted deal. That's about it. Use a bit of blue Loctite or red Loctite, because these fellows need high temperature Loctite, so use red Loctite, and that's the end of it. So see you guys on another one. This is Ben signing out for now. Ciao.